guys, in this lesson I just want to give you a quick overview of how I use category trees within a company's website to brainstorm for niches. So whenever I'm trying to generate ideas for a niche to develop into for a product brand, what I do is I first pick a niche that I'm somewhat interested in. In my case, two examples are boating and off-roading products, and then I find the main competitors for those niches. So in my last company, I started off with the boating brand in the boating niche, and I found the number one company in that niche, boating, which is West Marine. So I simply went on to the West Marine website and I started browsing their category trees. The worst thing you can do is start way too big when you're in a niche. A lot of people first starting off, I think, oh, boating, that's a really narrow niche. Well, it's actually not that narrow of a niche. West Marine, for example, has almost 20,000 different SKUs. I cannot become the number one retailer for boating products and offer 20,000 SKUs. At least not right now. Maybe in the future I can, but to begin, I need to get way more focused than that. So all I do is I go on to that company's website and I start browsing their category tree. And so what I did with anchoring.com was I went through all these different subcategories here, and we can see that there's about 20 different categories. And I picked one of those which I thought was going to make itself susceptible to having some good products to import from China in. And I simply went through all these different categories here. And I started crossing off categories which I didn't think were good fits. For example, electronics and navigation, not the greatest products to import from China. Same with electrical products. Boat motors and parts, a lot of moving parts. Not really interested in that. But anchoring and docking, a boat anchor. Well, geez. That's a perfect product to import from China. It's very simple. It's also fairly big, so it keeps away a lot of competitors. And so using this logic, the same logic that we're teaching in this course, I narrowed down into the anchoring and docking niche. Again, by doing this, what it allowed me to do is number one, stay hyper-focused, and number two, it gave me the opportunity to be better than any competitor within that one subcategory. West Marine is the number one company in the world for selling all boating products. But they're not the number one company for selling anchoring and docking products. They're not the number one company for selling paddling products. They're not the number one company for selling safety products. So by focusing on one of those subcategories, I can actually foreseeably, over time, make myself the number one company in the world or in America for that subcategory. And that's what happened over time. Anchoring.com became one of the top places to go for anchoring and docking products. And it might sound really small. Well, geez, I don't want to be the number one company for anchoring or docking products. But over time, over the course of a few years, we were doing multi-million dollars in revenues, and I was making a very, very good living off doing just a subcategory. So you should do the same thing. Focus on a subcategory. Again, one more quick example. When I started offroading.com, I found the number one competitor in that niche. It happens to be fourwheelparts.com. And rather than trying to do every off-roading product imaginable, from brakes and steering to lift kits to tires, I focused on one particular direction to begin with. In my case, I started with the ATV subcategory of off-roading parts. Again, it just lets me be hyper-focused and then also try to become the number one company in the world or in America for that sub-niche. I can't stress enough how important it is to be really niche when you're beginning your company. If you start way too big, you're just going to get overwhelmed. If you really bite off a manageable piece of meat to chew, it's going to make your importing and product development career a lot easier. So hopefully that gives you guys some direction for how to find niches, and we'll see you in the next module.